visits, your prayers, the way you guys have met our physical needs have just been such a blessing. So just on behalf of our family, I just thank you all. I would say my dad's passing was kind of a surprise. And in saying that, I realized that the statistics are that 100% of us are going to die someday. That's no surprise. But in my dad's case, I don't know why I was so surprised, because it had been something that I've been thinking about my whole life. At the age of 4 or 5, my dad had major open heart surgery. And with that surgery, he was given an artificial valve. And it seemed like it was almost like an expiration date. The doctors had said, well, if all goes well, that valve will last a good 25 years. So that would put me at 30 years old. With that new valve, Dad got this new valve, and I was given a new dad. This dad came with this funny sounding tick in his heart that I could hear from my bedroom at night. This funny tick would later become a signature sound for my dad, and honestly, one of my favorite sounds. And along with this signature heartbeat came an awareness that this valve would not last forever. And as a kid, I realized quickly that my dad wouldn't be here with me forever. So this idea that my dad wouldn't be here with me forever kind of stuck with me all through my teen years, early adult years. I wish I could say it made me a nicer teenager, but it didn't. I still gave him a hard time, and he loved me graciously and gently through it all. But this idea that my dad wasn't going to be around forever, it kind of stuck with me after I married Kirk, and I kind of felt like time was running out. Like I was in a hurry. I wanted to get married. I wanted to have babies, and I knew my dad wanted to see me have kids, and my clock was kind of ticking, and so Kirk and I had babies. And I just loved seeing my dad as a pawpaw to my girls. He was so gentle and sweet, and the way my girls would come in the morning and cuddle up with him and watch cartoons just warmed my heart. And, throughout the years, I've had several conversations with my dad about death. It was kind of something that we would talk about every now and then. And, the funny thing is, my dad, he just always had such peace about death. And I think the legacy that he received from his parents and this assurance of heaven that we have as believers in Christ, he just always was ready with this caveat that it would be nice for me to see a few more grandbabies. So at the beginning of October, my dad and his sister, Paula, were in Oklahoma City for a visit. We were sitting around talking, and not that we're just always talking about death, but we happened to start talking about death and heaven on this visit, and I pulled out the children's book, Heaven is for Real. My dad poured over the pages, and we started talking about what heaven would be like. And he wondered, what is my body going to be like, Jennifer? Is it going to be the old body, or is it going to be my young body? Am I going to walk, or am I going to fly? And then the idea that he wouldn't be in death in heaven anymore made me start crying. And I told him I wasn't sure that I would recognize him in heaven if he wasn't deaf. He laughed and shook his head, and he said, Jennifer, I have no idea. And then I stopped him and I said, Dad, why are we talking about this? Do you have something you need to tell me? And he laughed again and smiled, and he said, I don't know. And then we probably turned on one of his favorite Storage Wars show or something ridiculous like that. Anyway, I know that my dad is in heaven fully restored today, healed, riding a bicycle on those golden streets, probably hearing the most glorious sound ever. I know that someday I will see him again, and that he's there waiting